Hello everybody, welcome back to The Buffness. Today, I'm very excited to be recording this video because I'm talking about a bally that I've been flipping pretty much non-stop since Bladeshow West. This is one of them, but we're not talking about that guy yet. We're talking about the Squid Industries Nautilus Tonto, or the live blade Nautilus, as many people have been referring to it as. I have first production number 1 because I got to Bladeshow West to pick it up really early, and that just made me love it even more. But that's not why I love this bally so much. It's not why I've been carrying it probably the most out of my collection, in the top 3 for sure. I have a lot of reasons for it. Overall, it's just a really stinking good knife. Now, these just dropped on Friday. You were seeing this on a Wednesday, so I'm sorry this video is late. I really wanted this to come out on drop day, but other things have been taking up my time. There might still be a couple in stock. I don't think there are, but definitely go take a look. And everybody who ordered one, you'll be getting them very shortly. This video will hopefully excite you, because the Nautilus Tonto is stinking awesome. Easily, for me at least, in my top 3 aluminum ballies, which says a lot because there's a lot of them. I am counting trainers in that list as well. So anyways, let's talk about some of the amazing things, at least for me, with the Nautilus Tonto. So first up, this guy is a Nautilus. Obviously, it was a trainer beforehand. The Nautilus trainer is one of the best trainers out there, in my opinion. So I think overall, the Nautilus is easily in my top 3 aluminum ballies, if I'm counting the trainer version as well. I'd say it's probably my second favorite to the Kraken. It might beat it out if we're counting trainers, which we are. If we're counting the trainer and live blades both separately and combined, if you know what I mean, like the Kraken trainer and the live blade Kraken, and a Nautilus trainer and a live blade Nautilus. I don't like the Kraken trainer, but I like the live blade. Yeah, I think the Naut is still in my number 2 spot. But if you notice on Instagram and stuff, watching people flip, like some of the better flippers out there who will flip with trainers sometimes, usually when they flip with a trainer, it will be a Nautilus. Most often, I would say, it is a Naut. And that is not just because they want to promote the Nautilus for squid, it's because it's a really good knife for competitive flipping. My flipping has gone slightly downhill. It's always going a little bit uphill, but it's gone downhill in other aspects. So I can't say a ton when it comes to super competitive flipping, but I can say that I see why people like the Nautilus for that, and it all makes sense. This right here was my very first bally that wasn't a clone or from Amazon. This is the Buffness Flips Squid Industries Naut. Had it for over 2 years. It's been through it. I had the blade swapped out. It's been tuned several times by Squid. I have custom scales I'm prototyping on it. And it has tap just because I need to tune it. But we will come back to all of that probably in some form or another. But the Nautilus trainer is a legend in the community. And the Nautilus Tonto is basically that same knife, but with a live blade. It feels very similar, obviously. It has all the same characteristics, with some slightly better, even slightly improved. So that means that this knife is really good too. Some just standalone things that I like about the Naut. This counts the trainer as well for the most part because they cross over. 1, it's very light. Light Ballys are something I've personally really enjoyed through my flipping journey because I don't like trying to record a clip for a long time flipping something like a Kraken, right? And then your tricks just stop hitting because your fingers are getting a little bit tired after flipping a 4.2 ounce Kraken for half an hour. But that's where the knot comes in. This guy is like 3.6, 3.8 ounces, somewhere around there. It's a light little guy, especially the carbon fiber one. And that means that you can record a clip. You can flip the knot for like an hour and not really get tired because it's just light enough that it still flips very competitively while also allowing you to just flip a lot longer without losing any finger dexterity and stuff. I personally have been a big fan of the Nautilus sound. Let me oil this guy real quick. Doesn't have a ring, doesn't have anything like that. It just has a really good G10-ish clack, which you can tell whether something is G10 or not because it's got a very distinct sound. This is carbon fiber, but it still has that same ish sound. But the knot sounds really good. Live blade sounds no different. Something that's impressed me specifically with the live blade knot and newer knots I have noticed is their tunes have been holding up a lot better. When I first got this guy 2.5 years ago, something like that, the tune was not good. Like, it was good when I got it. Then it fell apart a few times. I had it sent to Squid, I think 3 times for tunes. Then I got it tuned by K-Sauce, and it was just like super legit and hadn't failed me since. That K-Sauce tune's gone because it's a new blade. I know I can get it to good tolerances though. This is purely because of me. But the knot used to have issues with tuning. But I've noticed, at least I have noticed, other people, please, if you've got a knot in the last, say, 6 months and the tune is kind of janky and you haven't absolutely beat it, let me know in the comments. But I got a newer knot trainer and the tune has held up really well. And the live knot, I did just oil it, but I've never had tap on this thing. It's super duper tight. There's like no wiggle. I've been flipping it for over a month, basically nonstop. And the tune has held up super well. So I'm very impressed by this. It's on par with a Kraken tune easily. So from what I've seen, Squid has kind of made a turnaround with tuning some of their products, and I'm here for it. Super duper happy that at least the live blade knots, maybe the trainers too, are getting the tunes that they deserve, so that hopefully less people will have trouble with them and more people will buy them. But I thought that was really cool. Last big really cool thing I want to point out is the balance. I am a big fan of it. It is a lot more neutral than you would think. I would say it is a little more neutral than, this one's not a good example because of my scales being heavier, but it is a little bit more neutral than a stock knot. Even a stock carbon fiber knot, I would say, is a little bit more handle bias because this blade just has a little bit more weight in it. I had a couple buddies of mine point that out at Bladeshow West right after they were flipping mine. They weren't big fans of the blade weight. They thought it was a little too much tip weight. As you can see, there's a big chunk of blade right here with no slots, which is fine. Most blades don't have any slots. I think the slotting is really cool and a great way to reduce weight. But they didn't like the balance of it. I personally am a big fan of it. Balance points and stuff, it really just depends on your flipping style and your preferences and all that. You can't really have an objectively bad balance unless it's like really bad. And this, in my opinion, is an objectively good balance. I've seen a lot of people really liking it. One thing that would help that is the G10 scales, because G10 is heavier than carbon fiber. So the G10 scaled live knots that just went out last week will be a little bit more handle heavy and therefore a little less neutral, but still quite neutral because of the tip weight, which I see as an absolute win. Something that I really like to do is just mindlessly flip sometimes. And when I do that, I will do a lot of fans. Just random fans, like 0G fans, choker fans, palm fans, all the fans. And you can tell if something is gonna fan good by the amount of tip weight it has. Tip weight is great for fans. A neutral bally will fan good. And while this thing is neutral, it still chaplains very, very well. This is taking me no effort. I can do a giraffe perfectly fine. No issues there. So this balance, pretty much perfect for me. This bally suits all of my preferences so well, and that's why I've been carrying it so much. But that is basically every good thing I can think to say about the knot, and there are a couple just annoying little things that I've had issues with the Nautilus in the past, and that do still exist because it's mainly in the handles. First off, there's still no jimping on the carbon fiber scales. We will never know why. They released one drop of carbon fiber knots with jimping, and then just never again. I don't know why. They had successfully made them. Maybe they just have a whole bunch of stock. Maybe they're making a V3. I don't know. But these scales still don't have jimping. So yeah, that's okay. Like, the jimping is fine. Ladder's good. But it could be so much more like my scales. You can really, really feel that jimping. Jimping on knot scales is something that really needs to happen at some point. This right here is an issue that only pertains, well, it's just a preference thing, really. I hate matte finishes on my knives. So matte aluminum is like the worst thing ever for me. And while this is a scale bally, so the matte finish doesn't affect me as much, I still don't love it. I would really, really like to see a satin finish on the live knots in the future. All the ones that they just dropped were matte as well. Or maybe I'll just buy like colored handles or something when they drop them on the website. They'll typically have blemished ones, like just blue aluminum pieces. But anyways, that's just another stupid little issue that I have. I really wish the knot had an adjustable weight system. I think that is a completely missed opportunity from Squid. Hopefully they do that in the future at some point, because all you got to do is slide off those scales. You don't even have to adjust the pivots at all. Take out the bottom ones, slide it off, throw in a couple pins, and you could have a little more weight down there, like some brass pins or something like that. One day, hopefully they do that. But I think that's just a missed opportunity. Definitely not an issue, but that would be cool. Now, the pricing on these guys is definitely not an issue, in my opinion. I paid $320 for mine. That is higher than the G10 price, because carbon fiber is more expensive. So $320 for the CF ones, $280 for the G10 ones, which is honestly a very fair price for 70-75 aluminum, right? Whatever blade steel this is, it's probably the same as the Kraken. Coming in right around the same price as a Kraken. So, makes perfect sense. And the last thing that I want to point out, last issue, which is also a not serious issue, it's still on tang pins. So, if you know the deal with tang pins, they are known to sometimes fold over long periods of time. My old knot is on its second blade because the first blade, the pins shrunk too much because of just repeated abuse over the years and stuff like that. I'm a lot more confident in these pins. I don't know why. I'm being very careful with the gap. When I tune this guy, I just do 2 torque specs on the side, or 1 on each side, instead of squeezing the handles together. So you just gotta be a little bit careful with the tang pins, because once they squish and indent the handles too much, there's not much you can do. You can try to replace them, but it's not so much the pins that die, a lot of it is the aluminum. So I would love to see a Nautilus on Zen pins in the future, because you could do hidden Zens due to the design. But yeah, that is about it. That's all of the issues that I have with the Nautilus in general. Still one of my favorite knives of all time, especially the live blade. It's just so good. Definitely keep your eye out for when these drop, because they're just way too much fun.